Hello, I'm RBXToyCat and welcome back to another top 5 video. Today I'm going to be showing you the top 5 most useless blocks in Minecraft for Xbox and Minecraft for PlayStation. This was a video I had a lot of requests to make on last week's top 5, and it's one I wanted to make because there's a lot of blocks in Minecraft that serve their function really well. You look at iron, for instance, and you can make iron tools, iron armor, as well as even block it up and make beacons. It's a really great block that serves a really great function, and the thing about that is there's some blocks that serve a function in the game that no one actually uses, and if they went missing tomorrow, no one would really care about. And in this video I'm going to be showing you the top 5 of those, so feel free to guess as we go along, as you can do with every other top 5, and please do like the video if you do like it. It would help out the channel a lot and it lets me know that you liked it. But let's get straight into the shower with the 5th most useless block, which I'm going to say is Lapis lazuli. Or the Lapis lazuli block, I should say. So the reason this is such an annoyingly bad block is because, first of all, to get it is quite difficult. Lapis lazuli is about 10% more common than diamonds, so roughly the same amount of lapis ores you'll find as you'll find diamonds. So once you do find them, they'll give you 4 to 8 lapis each. I have a fortune pickaxe here, so this is the best case scenario. If I mine like 2 blocks of it, I'm going to end up with 18 bits of lapis, which is the right amount for 2 lapis lazuli blocks. So even if you find 100 diamonds and therefore 110 lapis lazuli, you'll end up with around 100 lapis blocks at max if you use the fortune pickaxe. But if we assume you get 50 lapis blocks, then even then, what can you really use them for? Because although they do look pretty nice, I think so, of their new texture, a lot of people really hate the texture. I think most people hate the texture, and even if you could use them, you don't have much to build with, because 100 blocks isn't enough to do too much with. Like, you can make a staircase from them, and it's really great for like really fancy pathways, I think, but for anything else, they don't really serve any in-game function. They're just a decorative block that aren't very decorative at all. So that's why I'd say Lapis lazuli is the 5th most useless block. The reason it's not higher is because I quite like the texture, like I mentioned, but for most people, they really hate these blocks, and there's that you don't see them used very much at all in any real survival world. So that's the reason Lapis lazuli is the 5th most useless block. The next one is one I do have a personal beef with, and I'm very angry at in general every time I see it, and of course it's gravel. So why is gravel the 4th most useless block? So basically, the cool thing about gravel, the unique fact that a lot of people think, is basically when you find it, it's affected by gravity. So you mine a block and then the rest falls down. And the big function that it has, that actually has some purpose, is every 10th block you mine of gravel will actually give you a piece of flint instead of gravel. So it's roughly 10% chance. So eventually we should find it. Yeah, there we go. We found ourselves a bit of flint, and yeah, that's the purpose of it, because flint can be used to make a flint and steel if we want to go to the Nether, and it can also be used to make arrows. However, the gravel blocks you get the other 9 times out of 10 you mine the gravel blocks are entirely useless. Like, this texture is just plain ugly. I don't think there's any other way of really pulling it that's more plain. They're not very good looking textures. They just really kind of exist, and when you're mining them underground, they're so annoying. Like, they annoy you way more than they've ever helped you. They can never be used for building. They're only used to find flint that one time you need them, and maybe if you want to craft arrows instead of getting them from skeletons. But in reality, yeah, you're just gonna they don't serve much purpose. They exist for the sake of being annoying. And if you did want a gravity affected block, if that was the reason you think that gravel is so cool, then sand does it, but it does it better, because if you wanted to have blocks you can replace and then go back down with, every 10th block you mine of gravel will make it disappear because it'll turn into flint. So if you want replaceable blocks, then sand does the job infinitely better. And yeah, if you want gravity affected blocks, never need to use gravel. It exists and is annoying to exist and annoy, I guess. I'm just going to keep saying annoying because that's what it is. So just one final little tip for gravel, maybe, in case this helps you out. If you want to have non-gravity affected gravel, or at least seemingly non-gravity affected gravel, all you have to do is have string below it, and it looks all magical and stuff. So if at least there's a pro tip here, but otherwise entirely useless. No building uses, no any uses. It just allows you to get to the Nether, so you get a pass for now, but I'm still angry at you, gravel. Grr, shake this. So let's move on to the 3rd most useless block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation, and that is going to have to be the Netherrack block. Also, do you like my fake Nether? It's pretty realistic, right? But yeah, so now we're in the Nether. What I'll actually show you is the Netherrack. So Netherrack does make the Nether look like the Nether. Like, if you look at this and you're like, oh wow, the Nether's scary. But besides just being an intimidating block, it doesn't really need to exist, because it destroys your pickaxe if you try to mine it, because it mines so fast. I know a gold pickaxe is a bad example because of how fast they break anyway, but just look how fast I entirely broke that pickaxe there. And yeah, that's the reason that it's kind of bad, because it destroys your pickaxe, because you have to mine so much of it that you'll make your durability go faster than you realize. And then once you do have it, you do have yourself lots and lots of Netherrack, which is of course something I guess you'll end up with. What do you even do with it? Like, it doesn't work in building because it has this very odd texture. Like, just look at it. You can never use this. Will never like fit in with like a medieval house or just any house of any form, unless it's a Nether house. You can just stare at it and be like, oh, this is a fake Nether. I guess the one function that it does have that's almost useful, you could argue, is if you smelt it together, you can get Nether brick. But the thing about this is, if you want Nether brick in this form, or you want, the Nether bricks that you actually get when you combine them, the best way is to just go mine them yourself. Because if you do it this way, you need to mine 64 Netherrack. So you break 64 durability of your pickaxe. You then need to get yourself lots of fuel in a furnace, and then wait the longest time as it slowly melts into quarter blocks of Nether brick, which, you can just find by going to your Nether fortress over and over again, resetting it if you need to. On the consoles, you just don't need Netherrack, really. And yeah, it's even got an annoying name. It's called Netherrack. It should be called like Netherrock, or like, I don't know, Netherstone, anything. It actually used to be called Neverstone, but yeah, any other name would be more useful. It's just made to annoy and made to really not exist. If it wasn't like a cornerstone of the Nether by now, I don't think anyone would care if it went missing. But yeah, that's Netherrack. That's why it's the third most useless block. So moving on to the second most useless block, this is one that's kind of useless because of its rarity. Because although the chiseled stone block that you'll recognize because of the levers that will be on it, although this block does serve some function, you could argue, because it's like a Nether. It's like, a brick, stone brick, but it's got a little pattern on it. It's got some kind of use there. In survival, no use at all can come from this thing, because you only find 3 of these blocks every time you have a jungle temple. And if you don't know, jungle temples are very rare. Not even all worlds have them. And if you do have them, you're going to have 1 or 2 max. So for a 360 PS3 world, you're going to have 6 of these blocks mapped. And even on a, Xbox One, PS4 world, the most I've ever found is 6 jungle temples in a world. Even if you got 10 of them, that's 30 separate chiseled stones. So with 30 separate chiseled stone, you might think, oh, well, that's actually enough to do something with, I guess. But no, 30 chiseled stone, this is a very high amount. This is to get 10 whole jungle temples is enough to make a house that looks like this. And even if you did make a house that looked like this, which I strongly wouldn't recommend, then look at it. It's ugly. It's a very weird texture, and maybe someone thinks it's nice and is useful in some way, but being that it's pretty much exclusive to creative and almost unusable in survival, it's useless. The reason that the Ender Dragon Egg has some use because of its rarity is you get 1 of them ever, and you can say, I killed the Ender Dragon because of that. But whereas, if you look at the chiseled stone brick, you look at it and you're like, oh, I went to a jungle temple once. Not really the same sort of prestige, very annoying, gets on my nerves, and you're never going to be using this block anywhere. If they went missing, if they just replaced with stone bricks tomorrow, it would take a long, long time before anyone was like, wait a minute, something's changed. So, yeah, that's why they're most useless, because if someone doesn't notice a block, has changed, then that's kind of the definition of something that's useless. Anyway, moving on to the most useless block. In the current version of Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation, if you're watching this in the future, this might have changed. So, in the current version of Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation, there is a block called the sponge block. It is exclusive to creative. It's found in the decorative section of the menu, and it doesn't actually function how the sponge was meant to function. Because on the PC, the way it used to function until they undated it, and now they brought it back, is if you placed it anywhere, it would absorb all the water around it. So if I placed it there, for instance, all this water would be absorbed, and that's a really cool function. However, right now, all it does is, again, for seeing in the creative inventory only, so not even available in survival, all it does is it gives you a yellow wool block that has some slightly weird mold patterns on it. So it's yellow wool, but without any of the use of yellow wool. And no use for building, because look at this block. No use for doing things, and it's not even available in survival. This block could go missing, and I don't think anyone would ever notice. Someone would be like, oh, it's gone. And that'll be then the conversation. Oh, it's gone. And if when you think about a block and you say, oh, it's gone, that's probably a sign that no one ever loved the block. And I'd say it's sponge, but nobody loves you. Nobody loves you. So, yes, these are the 5 most useless blocks in Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. I hope you have enjoyed the video so far. If you have, please do like it and let me know. It would be very appreciated, and it helps out the channel a lot. And subscribe if you're new around here, if you want to see a bunch of videos like this. Also, share it if you really, really liked it. I get this in reverse sometimes, but whatever. Yeah, I do a bunch of Minecraft console videos on my channel, including top 5s every week, including Seed Sunday, and a bunch of update news. If you play Minecraft console, I think it's worth your time to subscribe. Anyway, just in case you're wondering, by the way, this is my creative world I'm in right now. This is the one-legged Steve that I sometimes start my videos in. And yeah, I just build stuff around here. Lots of people are always like, oh, Toycat, I like the hearts, I like your TNT, I like your big towers over there. It's just a big creative world. I think it gives a nice backdrop when I make a video like this, and yeah, it's one of my very, very few creative worlds, so hopefully it is something you like. But just quickly explain that one, because I get a lot of questions about that. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.